Hello, everyone. We're back with the video. As you can see, the title Girl in the Garage, in parentheses, fraud alert. So,
Hmm.
we're going to just go through article titles and give you just a little background on some of them, what's being said in them. And like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Um, share it, do everything, comment, and we'll respond back to you. All right, sis, you ready?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I know this was something that we talked about yesterday, and we decided to just do a video.
Yeah.
Because we did a live on Friday. If y'all don't know, go to our live section and look at all the live videos, look at all the shorts as well. But we were conversating after the live on Friday and also Saturday, actually, and then decided to do a video today. Yep.
I just wanted to open with something before we start with this false fake list. Is that there was a video. I think you told me about the video, and I forgot to mention it on the last live we did, which was Friday. Is that there's a documentary, according to Laura, that's coming out in April, and I don't know the exact date, but she said the documentary is about a lot of activists in the Cleveland based area, and that they're going to be talking about some of the things that they've been through in life and their activism. And before it even come out, I want to go ahead and speak on it, and I'm gonna keep speaking on it. Is that do not use our family in that documentary. What you need to do in that documentary is that you need to honestly tell the truth about the person that you are, and you need to tell people that you're a sick individual who premeditated a lot of stuff to make yourself look like a victim. You need to do that. And anybody that's in that documentary that's piggybacking off of her and following her too, the same thing for you. You know, I know a lot about activism. Me and all my siblings do. We do a lot, and we don't speak about it a lot because we do it from our hearts, nor do we speak about finances. Because when you're doing an act for somebody and helping them out, you don't ask for anything in return. When she mentioned that they get up out of their beds looking for children that's been kidnapped in the cold and that they don't get paid, that was a red flag right there. Is that you're looking to get paid off of victims who have absolutely nothing and that's been through a lot of turmoil, some horrific things in life, and you're looking at to get paid. Because if you wasn't, you would have never mentioned it. Then she was contradicting when she spoke as well. She said, we get out of our beds in the cold middle of the night and we go look for people, and we don't get paid big amounts of money, but we get paid, but not a lot. And you should not be getting paid. You should not be getting paid for helping a victim out. You should not. So
Yeah.
I'm speaking about it now, and we're probably going to speak about it more. Is that, you know, just preparing for it ahead of time, is that do not be speaking about our family. We've been through enough, all of us, and we're still dealing with things that's thrown at us every day. And so that's pretty much it concerning that till we hear more.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, so getting into November 2011, this was a time I think we spoke about before, but I'm gonna say it again, where we was told, but I think this was back in 2009, where we was told in 2008, we was told by the DA not to speak to the media concerning any of this stuff that was going on. For what reason, I don't know. But to get in some of the fraudulent articles and some fake false articles, November 9th, 2011, there's an article online, and this article is false. So if you all run across it, be mindful that it's false. And if you want to ask any questions, you can always reach out to us and, ask, and we'll try to do the best we can in answering it. But this article came out November 9th, 2011. Merging from hell of abuse, Laura Cowing said that she was starved to death. And this is an article that's in the Los Angeles Times. So if you decide to maybe Google it or look it up and read the article, be mindful that everything that you read in this article, it's false.
Yeah.
The only,
What I don't, yeah, what I don't like about the headlines is that starved to death.
yeah,
We know she was weighing what 180 something. They told us,
yeah, or like
but
Hannah said, three
and she
times that.
yeah, and she said in another interview, she said she was weighing a 109, which was a lie.
Yeah.
So like I said, like we said before, everyone, we spoken to the DA and a lot of the people out there in
Hmm.
California and everything. So, and plus, we know Laura. I seen her before when she came to Virginia. Like I stated many a times, she wasn't small like that. Crystal, you lived in the home. You know how her eating habits was. We talked about that. So, people
Hmm.
that don't know the story, because she's been running with this for 20 something years, and here we are after the movie, Girl in the Garage. We watched it, we seen it, and we've been running for a whole year talking about it and really breaking it down. Yep.
And like you said too, based off of really all of these articles and stuff, you've seen her yourself, what, once, twice in
Hmm.
person, and you knew what size she was. And I
Yeah.
lived in the home, and so did our other siblings. And we know because we experienced it, we lived in the house. So we know that she was not a malnutrition woman, nor was she starved to death. So if you come across this article, November 9th, 2011, article, Los Angeles Times, just ask questions about it, and we'll be happy to, speak about it.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's another one. This one's recent, January 8th, 2025. Uh, how Lord Cowing survived being held captive for 4 years. This is an article that A&E did. Now, um, I'm confused, and I've always been confused because this one right here, you're going to find a ton of interviews and different articles where she speaks and says that it was the last 6 months of the 4 years that he held her captive. Then she goes back to she was held captive for 6 months or over 6 months, then
Hmm.
7 months, then 8 months, then it was 4 years, then it was 3 years, then it
Yep.
was,
Multiple
I mean,
times.
it goes as far back as 1980. I've seen articles where she said, well, somebody said it was in 1980, and she commented off of it and didn't correct it.
She didn't correct them at
And so
all.
she knows what's wrong, in the media, and she's behind the scenes telling, these fabricated lies and stuff. That's why she's known to all of us as the fraud.
Yeah, and the
So,
reason why I got up there fraud alert
mhm.
because if y'all go and watch the Dr. Phil show that y'all on and they did a little side story and you were talking and you said everyone needs to know that she's a fraud.
Yeah,
And you said that way back then. But
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember it vividly, you know. I remember. Like I just said, it's like a brain scramble. You know, everything's confusing. It's like you know what you saw, and when you have a lot of people gaslighting you, you have her gaslighting us, you have all these networks gaslighting you, you have some people that worked in the system that was involved in this case gaslighting us,
Yep.
actually making up stuff to try to make us believe that we didn't see something that we saw, trying to make us actually conform to saying that she was a victim. I'm not going to conform to a lie like that.
That's
I'm not.
abuse.
I'm
That's
not.
abuse right there. You
I
know,
know.
they knew y'all abused children, so they abused you more.
Yeah. About a
Mm.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not going to conform to no lie. I know that she has written things to make it look like we were against her when it was her who was against all of us and we was children. You know, and we spoke about that before. You know, she didn't like us, you know, from the get-go. It was just a lot of jealousy from her and a lot of resentment and a lot of me, or I, without even giving a care about other people and their families, not even their own kids did she care about. And this is from me speaking from a place because like I said, I lived there. So like I said, with this article right here, I mean, it's so many of these right here are out here. Now it's being held captive for 4 years. And that's a lot right there. A lot.
It is.
And
It is.
I'm wondering 4 years when, where, how?
And how
You
did they
didn't
come
live
up
in our
with that?
home. You did not live in our home for 4 years, Laura. And you know you didn't. You had your own place for a whole year. You left for 3 weeks, and you was told several times by our father, yeah, he was wrong, but you was told several times to leave. Several times you was told to leave. So,
Let me get to this one. I want this the one that tripped me out right here. I'm gonna read this one.
mhm.
This one would trip me out. Uh January 25th, 2025. Cleveland kids trapped inside California garage for a month. News 5. That's out in Cleveland.
Yeah,
My thing is kids wasn't trapped in the garage for a month. They didn't even spend time in the garage.
nope, not at
They're
all.
not even on the so when y'all went to court to testify, none of that stuff, there was nothing. So once again, that comes from when Dad and Laura put y'all in her garage, and you don't know how long it was
Well,
because
it
y'all already
states
yeah
it states in court records that we were put in garages, locked in
yeah.
basements, closets, garages. The first garage I ever experienced being put in was her garage because the homes that we lived in, we didn't have any garages. When we lived in Bakersfield, we had a garage, but the garage was like an open garage, but that wasn't the place that he would put everybody. He put everybody in the basement because basement was scary for everybody. But her, my first experience of living in a garage was her garage
and
ever.
it- and they say Cleveland kids
Yeah.
trapped in California garage. I'm like, they were never in a garage. Her kids was never.
And this article was done. It's an article that was done, so everybody can be mindful of that. And there was a clip that was done. It's about 2-3 minutes of News 5 WEW News that's reporting on this stuff.
Mm.
Okay, May 8th, 2013. 2013. Psychological trauma. Laura was held in captivity. Article. CNN.com. Um, First of all, there was no psychological trauma, and she wasn't held in any type of captivity. That's another lie right there. So that's another
Just that
false.
whole word captivity, you know what I'm saying? When it
Yeah,
comes to her and
it's
just the whole situation, that sounds is wild to me.
yeah, it's hostage, captive, it's
Yeah.
hostage, captivity, kidnap,
Now,
all of
yeah,
those. And so you're just like, where does this come from?
held in captivity. That's wild.
Okay, then we got another article, October 20th, 2020, California woman Laura Cowan kidnapped by Mansa Muhammad. Article, WKYC News 3. Okay, again, how was she kidnapped? And do WKYC News have proof from, higher sources, agencies, the big agencies like the CIA and the FBI?
Yeah, FBI.
Do they
Yeah.
have proof on paper that they rescued her and that she was kidnapped? Do they have proof of that? Because from my understanding, I mean, we asked and we were told no by the district attorney's office. And this was just like 2 weeks ago. We was told no. I mean, you're talking about a visit there. That's what I'm saying. A visit there and actually sitting in the office and somebody there in their office is
Mm,
saying no, she was not kidnapped.
mm.
January 11th, 2019, Laura Cowing held hostage for 3 years. See, there we go again. Here go
Yeah,
another
yeah.
false article. Now she's saying she was held hostage for 3 years.
Hmm.
So it's
And that
like
other article was last year when she said she was held captive for 4 years.
four
Now,
years. That was
and this one
2025.
exactly. And this one
Mm-hmm.
was, what?
January 11th, 2019.
Yeah,
See, and that's why you got to put everything together that's going on in the media because it's so twisted. It's like 10 years ago you told the media that you was kidnapped for 4 years held hostage. But then flash forward to 2025, you're saying, "Oh, it was only 6 months."
yep.
Now we're grappling with that new thing. It was 6 months, or she'll throw in there it was over 6 months, or it was 8 months.
Yeah, she's mentioned that as well. And remind y'all, this is just a few we found. Like through past last year, we found way more than this. This is just a few.
Last year it was probably hundreds of them.
Yeah, and especially during the summer, we was running across a lot of them during the summer of
Yeah,
2025. We ran across so many, it was crazy.
yeah. So just imagine from 2009 up into 2025 how many fabricated, false, fraudulent articles done by her, and then also some of these media outlets that she's dealt with. Just imagine, you know. So like you said, 2025 it was 4 years. Now
Hmm.
2019 it was 3 years. So this is why we're talking about this because you know th- th- you can just see right through the lie, and this stuff don't it just don't add up. So now here we go, June 2011, breaking the chain. Laura Cowing, this is my story of 13 children being starved, beaten. Article Laura wrote on Breaking the Chain website is online. And she wrote this article June 12th, 2011. Now, Breaking the Chain
Hmm.
website was called about this by
Yeah,
us.
we spoke to the person that uploaded this article.
Yeah. and she was told that um, we were Laura's children. That's what she was told. But she said that she didn't take it, you know, she didn't look into it too big because she wouldn't have thought nobody would lie about something like that. And this is everybody's excuse that you speak to, is that we didn't know. We didn't know, and we didn't know that she would lie about something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
what she did in this article, instead of writing an article about her fabricated lies and putting it up there, she wrote an article about another woman's children. All 13 of us wrote an article, and I made it clear to the individual that we spoke to is we're not her children. And then why aren't you looking for proof of this stuff? Proof.
They're
You're
just
not
taking
looking.
it at face value. Well, she says, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah. And then that's not her story. She don't First of all, to say my name is Laura Cowings, this is my story of 13 children being starved and beaten. There's something seriously wrong with that when you say that this is your story of 13 children.
Then go on to say
None,
the 13 children. Then the whole article is talking about us. It's not talking about her.
yeah. She don't even mention her children
Never.
in there. She's talking about all of us. All of us. And I have the article because the article has been taken down because the individual that took it down felt like um
I will. Yeah. Yeah. That
it
was an
just
interesting.
it was
It was an
something else.
interesting conversation. Just trust me.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, just speaking to her was
Yeah.
interesting, talking to her. So like I said, if you run across the article, let us know, but I doubt it if you'll see it again online because the article we have it, now, even though it's been taken down, we still have a copy of the article. Okay, moving on to March 14th. Crane's Journal. Laura Cowing brutally beat and starved. Article done by Crane's Journal. Okay, now in this article, she was brutally beat and starved. Okay, I remember her doing some type of seminar at this Cleveland library over the summer, and she actually had pictures of women that was brutally beat that had their eyes, they literally had black eyes, swollen eyes, teeth knocked out of their mouth. Have you seen the article?
I don't know if I saw that one. You probably sent it to
I,
me.
yeah, I saw it.
Because
I saw it on YouTube where
okay,
these women had actual black eyes. They had busted teeth, lips, bruises on their face, and all of that. I just thought that if you're saying that you was brutally beaten and starved, why don't we throw some pictures out there to the audience so the audience can see? Because first of all, we know that this isn't true. This isn't even believable at
ah,
all. At all.
she
Because
has
if
no
it was if
pictures. You know.
yeah, there's no pictures because the DA told
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
there's no pictures. There's no bruises, there's no pictures
Nothing.
at all. There's no pictures of her
Or her
or her
children.
children.
It's
None.
all. It's all of us. It's
It just
pictures and things of all of us and what we went through as children, into teenagers. It's nothing. Oh yeah, it's all of us.
yeah. And so this one right here, out of the six we just read, this one right here is a big old joke because if I was an advocate and I was really trying to show the audience and express to them how serious it is when it comes to domestic violence and that I've been through it, then I would put those pictures out there for people to see. So I don't know who allowed her to go to a Cleveland library and stand up there and use pictures. That's another thing too that's bad. There's pictures of our family that was used, that she's used. Why are
Hmm.
you using pictures of us to show proof that you was abused when you wasn't abused? That's the thing that don't make sense. Why do you use proof of what happened to somebody else but not proof of what happened to you? And for me, I would have to show an example. Okay, here is me, malnutrition. Like she showed pictures of our siblings in hospital rooms, dressed in hospital gowns,
Yep.
malnutrition. Those are the pictures that she should have had of herself out there.
And her
Just don't,
children. Yeah.
yeah, and your children. Just don't sit up there and say that you was brutally beat and you was starved and you know you lying through your teeth.
And when and also we said her children, but only picture that she constantly shows is the picture of her son, which she did herself, which was Musa's evidence against her abusing her son.
Mm-hmm.
So she uses that to act like, okay, that's what Musa did. When if you court files and court transcripts never said that. That was his information. Yep.
It's terrible. And then like I said, it's just bad. But this one right here, like I said, big time joke, that article right there. So we move on to May 17th, 2012, breaking the cycle. Laura Cowing was desperate and alone when Musa abducted her. And this is in an article and a news clip, Cleveland 19 News. First of all, how do you pre-think somebody like you're a psychic? How could he know that she was desperate and alone? So he started to abduct her. There's another word. Now we got hostage, kidnap, we got abduction. It's a lot. Captivity.
Tracy Potts said that when Laura lived in the home, he pretty much after that, when he put her in the garage, she was pretty much abducted at that point. That's not how that works. This is what Tracy Potts said. Tracy Potts.
And,
That's what
and,
she
and,
said.
and what type of police officer is she? What type of detective is she? What type of criminal analyst is she? Not neither
Exactly.
one.
Exactly.
So whatever she said, it don't mean anything to me. The stuff
And
she said,
mhm.
it went in one ear and went out the other one.
And Tracy Potts is our henchman. Tracy Potts, if you
Yeah.
look at our channel, y'all, and go through our videos, you'll see what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she is. Big time. I mean, how would a guy know that she was alone, you know, and desperate? And so that's the reason he had to abduct her. This is what the article is saying. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
that's
It's
what it, yeah,
twisted
yeah, yeah, it's
because
twisted.
how do you say Laura Cowing was desperate and alone when Musa abducted her? How would he have known that? And then,
Hmm.
like you said, her abduction supposedly happened. Uh, it's never really a correct answer. It's always 4 years. Like I said, 3 years, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years. Like she told Dr. Phil, he said, "Was you really with him for
Yeah,
four
that was a
years?"
trip.
She said, "No, more like 3 or 2." If you go back and you view the show, so to
Hmm.
say that's fair, she said.
Man, this next one is crazy.
Yeah. January 18, 2018, Laura Cowing, children held captive for 20 years. This is
Milwaukee
coming
News.
from Milwaukee News. And this is an article. And then they also have a news clip, I believe, on
Yeah,
YouTube.
cause yeah,
I'm
I
like,
seen that. Yeah, you sent me a clip
okay,
and I read it and I was like, what? My thing is this: 20 years
you know what that is, right? Again,
they feeding off of us.
yep, talking about all of us.
That happened to this
I
family.
think I'm gonna tell you this too. Since we speaking about this, I might as
Uh
well
huh.
just throw it out there. I think in her head, her sick head, somewhere, that she had such a big attraction to dad because she talks about how charming he was and nice, and she's going to be forever grateful to him and that he did help her out. I think that throughout her having this affair with her and him and then plotting a rape, like she was raped, I think she actually believed in her sick head because I've heard it too much. I mean, I've heard it just by calling people how screwed up that the story is and things that she's told people behind the scenes. A lot of stuff I'm not going to discuss right now, but we're going to get down to it and discuss it verbatim. You know, to tell somebody that you had 13 kids with somebody, and then to mention in this article that Laura Cowing children held captive for 20 years, like our mom is just completely didn't
Yeah,
exist.
just totally out of the picture.
Yeah, completely wiped out of existence. And you know, when we were speaking on the Dr. Phil show about our mother and the way our mother was treated by her, you know, she sat there and said, "Oh, I was not jealous, and I did not want to get rid of your mother." Yeah, you did want to get rid of our mother because we've heard it. We heard it so much to the point that, right now, even when I talk about it, I'm having flashbacks about things that came out of your mouth. And she pushed so hard to be a part of our family because the goal is just to wipe all of us out and just it be her and dad and her children. And then you're talking about a woman I think is real sick because you're talking about a woman who already had a husband and a legal husband at that, a
Yeah.
legal husband.
Hmm. And he was writing
At
her
that,
letters from prison.
yeah,
We'll get into that in another video. But yeah,
that's gonna be a big one right there.
exactly.
But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, here we go with another false headline. I mean, captivity for 20 years. Wow.
I mean, the fact that she 20 years, I mean, come on. That's like
That's a long
what? It's a
time.
long time.
That is a long time.
And see,
A really long
like I said in other videos, that it started with me in the late 70s. Of course, Keisha was there, born. She's our older sister. It started with me, and it went from the late 70s all the way up until Dad got caught in '99. Right? It's a long
time.
time. But she's trying to say that she was a part of all of that for all those years. Mm,
You didn't even know the lady.
that's
Somebody got
crazy.
some issues. Serious issues. That's just way out. 20 years? Okay. Okay. In your head. Okay, so here we go. October 21st, WKYC News, Cleveland article. Laura talks about her domestic abuse survival. Okay,
Mm.
that's
What?
another false article right there.
What survival?
What did you survive?
What did you
Because the thing
survive?
is,
Like,
if I saw the pictures, like I said, and I kind of racked my brain with that a lot. Like when, where, where are the pictures at? Like when did this happen?
now we know that they charged Dad, but when it comes to her, but there was no evidence because it was hearsay. And we spoke to the DA last year in June.
Hmm.
Me, you, Keisha, then me, you, and Hannah spoke to them again. What, a week ago?
About a week ago, over a
So,
week ago.
and they said the same thing again. There was no pictures. This basically is hearsay.
I
She
just
didn't
can tell you,
survive anything.
right. I can just tell everybody this listening. We all know we live in a society where the system is twisted. The laws are even twisted. I still can't wrap my head or my finger around how can you falsely say, how can you just walk in a store, like example, walk into Target or walk into a restaurant, and say somebody hit you, call the police come running, and they handcuff you and put you in the police car, take you to the police station, put you behind bars, and they tell you, we're locking you up because even though you don't have any bruises, we're locking you up based off of hearsay. Now, yeah, Musa, he deserves to be in prison because he did all those things to all of us. And the thing is that there's evidence of it. Like we said, there's pictures, there's bruises. I mean, tons of pictures and bruises and physical records of conditions of all of us done by doctors and pediatricians.
Hmm.
So, my thing is that, you know, how do you just blatantly lock somebody up without no evidence at all and then waste the system's money like that, the taxpayers' money, and send somebody through a trial and then the jury finds out, hey, you was never hit because there's no bruises.
No
Then you
bruise.
got to
Nope.
go through being locked up, having a mug shot, getting out, not being able to get certain jobs you want, not being able to be around certain people because you're titled as this abuser, of women. And I'm not just talking about Musa, I'm saying with any man or female that's been accused of that, is that how do you just say somebody hit you knowingly that they didn't and you don't even have any bruises or anything? Now, I will say this, when we was at the DA's office, what I didn't like is that the office manager was trying to convince me that you can charge somebody with hearsay because while you're in one room and another person could be in another room and they come
Hmm.
out and they say, oh, this person slapped me, there's no way of you telling that that person was slapped. Yes, it is. You said she wasn't a credible witness.
Yeah, they
And then
said that.
second of all, there was no bruises.
Nope, whatsoever.
So
And
that's
then
that's
then
that's the
plus
point.
then plus, like you said, y'all knew everything that was going on in the home. Everything was out and open. No matter every situation, no matter what was going on with this person, that person, everybody in the home knew. There
Yeah.
was nothing private.
And this goes back to, like I was telling the office manager, how do you tell me that she could have been in the room and he probably hit her and you just didn't know about it? But yet, everything down to a T. It's like no privacy at
Yep.
all. Did any of us have? She knew everything.
Y'all break into the refrigerator. She's standing right there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
wild. Yo, y'all have to like I tell everyone, please research her. Look at all her videos that come to this channel because we have nothing to hide. But she doesn't want people coming to this channel.
And then she doesn't want people asking the big questions. I can come up with a list with probably over 2,000, and I mean literally 2,000 different things to ask her. And I guarantee you, about her, not anybody else, I guarantee you that she's not going to answer
Mm.
one. And if she do answer some of them, she's going to lie or she's going to make up something. She's going to make up something.
This next
It's
one is
just
crazy
crazy.
too.
Yep. So this is November 6th, 20. Now this one is really crazy. November 6th, 2013, WKYC 5 News article. Laura Cowing talks about how she saw Musa bury his son, brother D, in the Awanga home backyard. So
Hmm.
let's just say
See,
this because we both know this, and so do
yeah,
our parents, and so do a lot of people in our family. I mean, the odds in this one is totally against her because,
yes, totally.
yeah, because he didn't live with us
He ran
in the
away before
Wanga.
y'all. If he ran away to Virginia before y'all got to that home up there.
Yep. And he had been gone for what, 2.5 years?
Yeah,
This is like this crazy right here. Made him dig a hole in the Wanga home.
she's taking
And
stories. She's taking stories from another incident that happened before. I mean, years before y'all
years
ever
ago,
met her.
years
Years,
ago,
and she heard
years
about it,
ago,
and she's using it.
years ago,
Yeah.
and has used it. And he could even tell you himself, it could be easily investigated. Like I was telling office manager, our brother was gone for 2.5 years. He had a job, he had a driver's license. We got a bunch of family back east. Like like I said, the odds is just totally against her. If you check his employment records, you check his if he has his bus ticket still
And check it out.
available.
Only thing I do is this. Like when they came up to the home to arrest dad, and she left and everything.
He
Marcus
wasn't present.
he wasn't there. He didn't live
Mm-mm.
there.
No. He didn't get out. He didn't get out to California um to the summer because that happened in April, but he didn't come out to California until June or July that summer he
Hmm.
came out. But he had been long gone, 3,000 something miles away, y'all. And I that's why I said she got a sick mind.
And the girl in the garage. If y'all watch the movie, there's a scene where the guy's playing Musa. He walks out into the backyard. This would be dumping waste or whatever, and they're digging a hole. That never happened. And she's trying to. She'll go back and state, about the situation with Marcus, and then try to connect them together. Like this is what he did. Also, kind of to them, they had to bury their waste in the yard. That wasn't true at all.
And then, like we said too, this is not fault. I mean, well, on our part, this isn't false information. This is full fabricated, fraudulent lies that she's told, these networks, and they've escalated it by adding stuff to it that she says and making up lies. These are articles that is actually online that you can view.
Yeah.
You can actually view. And you can put two and two together and you'll see where the lies fall at when you see articles that say, "Oh, I was held captive for 6 months. Oh, I was locked up for 5 years, 20 years, 4 years. Oh, it didn't happen until 6 months.
Yeah, it's maybe a
Everything
little
was good.
over.
Everything
Yeah.
was good
Oh,
till 6
he
months."
took my baby away from me, stuff like that.
Yeah. So if you see all these fabricated lies online, how can you believe anything that she say? Anything. Like I said before, um, her advocacy comes from using me and my siblings, and that is a 100% truth that I'm telling. Is that if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't be an advocate. She
No.
made herself an advocate. She's like a self-made. She dubbed herself, an advocate, self-made. But if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't be out there um, doing anything.
And
I
like,
think,
mhm.
in my opinion, I think that she's doing this to make people in the media and people that she's surrounded herself around make them think that she was actually this victim of all of this stuff and that she really cared about children and people in general when she didn't.
Yeah, and like I always say, you can be an advocate, just don't
Yeah.
be an advocate off of my family and getting money from this story as if it was you. And
Yeah.
that's what she's done for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm. She sure have. But this story with our brother, I mean, this one right here,
Yeah,
this
that
article
bug
right
that
here, I'm
bugged me
like,
out. I was like,
yeah,
ain't
this
no
is like
way.
this is like, shh, this
And
is
we know which ones that were that dug the hole, had to get in, and
yep.
we know brother D and also other two brothers as
Mm-hmm.
well. And if y'all go and watch this channel, you'll find out who it was because we
Yep.
state this. Yeah.
And they'll tell you exactly when, where,
Mm-hmm.
and what year it happened,
Yep.
what time of day it was, and who was present. But she wasn't present. I'll tell you that. Next, we go to this next article, the Tamron Hall Show, February 20th, 2020. Laura Cowing tell Tamron how her husband Musa starved her and how she was dying and lost the color of her skin. But I'm gonna tell you, it's a twist there, cause I remember this article right here. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time I think about it, it's like it's in my head,
And
like a
she said,
recorder.
and she says this on the Tamron Hall show.
She said
These are pieces of it. She
sh-
kind of, yeah,
she was stuttering.
yeah, she
She was
was.
stuttering. She said, the children. If
Yeah.
you go back and look, she said we was starving. We was losing the color. I mean, the children.
Yep.
She switched around. She said the children was starving and was losing the color of their skin. We were all dying in there.
Yep. She did. We were all dying in there. I'm like,
Yeah. So
not true. She wasn't dying whatsoever.
I don't even think. I think it was. I'm gonna just say this to be real honest. I think it was getting to that point, but I don't think it was at that level at all to
Yeah.
say that. I mean, it's a possibility for anything to happen because of the
Yeah,
stuff that
because what he was doing to
all the
y'all,
adults
not
was doing
yeah,
in the
not her.
home.
Yeah, all the
But
adults in the home, what they were doing to the
yeah,
children.
but
Yeah.
but to say that we were all dying, that's a complete fraudulent, fabricated lie. Because how are you dying and you sitting at the table eating a big bag of Ruffles, a whole pound of Ruffles potato chips, tuna sandwiches, and got a big old 2 liter of cherry Pepsi drinking it. That's why I don't. I'm just like
Oh yeah.
it's hard. It's hard for me to even. It's like when we was sitting up in that DA's office and that lady was telling us stuff. I was telling Hannah last night. I kind of felt like we was being coerced, sitting there, and like forced to try to believe in our heads that something happened other than what we saw, and that
Mhm.
something, well, we know the way she lived, something that we was used to and things that we was used to seeing, and that they were saying things. I kind of felt like it was like a dad tactic
Yeah.
when she was talking, like she was trying to make us actually believe that, oh, he did this, he did this, he did that. And I made it clear to her, this is not in defense of him. I'm talking about her, not him, because I lived in the house and I know it's a lie. That's why I'm there asking these questions, you know. But I kind of took myself back to, you know, being in that home, in that situation, sitting there, and I kind of like went off in like a spaz, staring off space, because I was just like, it was just hard to fathom the stuff that she was saying that Laura told them. And I was like, my number one thing is, where's the evidence of it? You know, I like to see evidence of all that stuff. And that's how you win your case when you go into court. As long as you have factual evidence, you have documentation and all that, you have a really high chance of winning your case. And I know for a fact because I lived in the house, they convicted him on a lot of hearsay stuff. And I'm not talking about when it came to his family. I'm talking about
When it came to her,
specifically
yeah.
when it came to Laura, them two charges that they charged him with. And those were wobblers because they went down to felonies. But I'm saying still, you know, I I don't know.
And like I said, they tried to blend it in like like if he did it to y'all, then he did it to her. But at the same time, there was no evidence on her part, like no abuse, no rape kit, nothing. But every
But
all the abuse and pictures and rape kits and everything that was done for Moose's kids only.
everybody.
Everybody, and all the evidence was there, even with what happened to me back in Virginia, that all the evidence and the abuse and the marks and the broken limbs and everything, they had those records. So, but there's no records for Laura or her children, and there's no history. She has no history of abuse with Musa doing the stuff to her and her kids. There's no history nowhere. We have all the history.
First of all, like I said, why are you throwing pictures across a gate with all of his children on it and saying help and not throwing a picture of you and your children across the gate? Why didn't you throw that blue picture
Yeah,
across the gate? Because that picture, and I know when it happened because it's marked in the minutes, and I know the date because the date reflects the same date as the police report. So the thing is, the picture was present. So why didn't you take the picture and put help on it and dump it across that gate? Why did you use us, take the picture and dump it over there? Why'd you do that?
yeah, you're right. And what's the trip in this right here? The part that um, the loss of color. That was going on with y'all because if you look at those examination pictures that she stole, or whoever gave it to her, it's on her website. That was happening to Moose's
Where
children.
is the pictures that she looked like Michael Jackson? She said at one point she said at one
What?
she said at one
Yo,
point
she
she looked like
said
Michael
that.
Jackson.
She said
And
that. Yo, that's wild.
she said the kids was looking like ghosts. They was looking like this pigmentation of their skin, it was gone. They was looking pale. And then she said she started looking like Michael Jackson. She said she didn't know what was going on. Then she mentioned some albinoism. She mentioned that. I
Yeah,
was like, oh
yeah,
man, she done really
yeah.
took it too far.
I'm telling
But
y'all, this lady has said so much stuff throughout the years. I can't keep up. It's crazy.
she done threw the Jackson's brother up on the bus. God rest his soul. But I'm like, come on. That's
Mm,
cold.
it is.
That's cold right there.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
You know, that is cold. Okay, so we get into this next article, May 23rd, 2023. Still her shenanigans going on.
Yeah, I looked
Okay,
at
now
this
this is
video.
false right here. This is a doozy.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, false. Laura did not find these three women. WKYC News 3. Laura Cowan claims she found Michelle Knight and the other two girls who was missing. Now I saw this clip last night before we
Mm-hmm.
did this one, and I sent you the clip. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I looked at that clip like 8, 9 times. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, "We remember when they was missing. We remember when they was missing, and we remember this house right here. But we
Yeah.
didn't go look at this house. We didn't go look at this house right here." She kept saying. She said, and then all of a sudden we found them. Ain't
Yeah.
that
It's
something?
it's how it's the play on words because they didn't directly find them. What
You know
happened
who
was the guy
found them.
named Charles Ramsey. He found them because he said, I don't know if he said, I can't remember it clearly, but I don't know if he said he saw someone trying to get out of the door or whatever, and he went up there to hear somebody making noise. He went to help break it open, and he said, a little white girl mixed whatever span jumped into his arms. That's on, and that's in Cleveland. So
He
for
said he
her
heard
to,
some screaming.
yeah, yeah, that's what he went up to
That's,
the door
yep.
and tried to break it open or whatever. So uh
Cause
she
what
definitely
happened?
didn't find them.
Yeah. Cause what happened? I was looking at the documentary. I haven't finished it, but Michelle Knight was talking about that he had brought them some Burger King.
Yeah, yeah, because he went there himself. I don't know if
Yeah.
he went back, but he had some. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he brought them some Burger King to eat. And she said that where he had them nailed up at, he didn't nail it all the way back up.
Yeah,
So that's how she was able to remove that piece of wood
and kind of
and
poke
kind of
on the
like
screen
open
and
it and
yeah,
signal for some help. And you said the guy that found him, what was his name?
Charles Ramsey.
Yep. Because they
Yeah,
was
a
making
black
fun
guy.
of him. They was
There was,
making,
Michael Epps was clowning him. That I sent you that clip. I was cracking. Michael
I
Epps
was,
is crazy, but he
yeah, Mike
clowned him.
Epps
Yeah,
sitting up there with a wig on his head, and the reporter is asking, "How did you find him?" He's I was at McDonald's. McDonald's, well, I had a lot of salt on the fries,
yeah.
and I got
He
a
was
burger,
tripping.
and I turned around and I see some little white feet. I said, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, but he found if he wasn't paying attention and hearing the screams and be able to go up to that door, who knows what would have happened to them. But
But see, that's a real story.
yeah,
That's what I call a true, factual, real story right there.
yeah,
Those ladies was
they
kidnapped,
suffered. Yeah,
held hostage for 12 years.
yeah,
The FBI did not even know where they was at.
couldn't find
And he
them.
was a bus driver.
Hmm.
They didn't even know where those girls was at. And you would put yourself in a position like that. Like I
And try to
said,
and comparing
I
yourself to Michelle Knight all the time, acting like she was locked up as well.
I've
Laura was never
seen
locked up.
I've seen all the sneaky tactics that she got and where she's made her bed at. She's made her bed to lie in right where there's a lot of vulnerable victims of this stuff. That's what she's done. And that's where she wants to be at because she looks at it like she looks at a window like, hey, I can make me some money. And it don't just have to be off of us. You got to look at, we don't know how many other victims that she claimed she done
She
helped
helped.
out,
Hmm.
that she done made money off of. We don't know. And that's, like I said, I've been in some really deep praying, and I know
That's a
we've
predator.
talked,
That's a predator right there.
yep, praying on victims.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like what she did to all of us, prayed on all of us, and then used these line tactics in movie like she was this sweet, generous person, and she wasn't. She wasn't. So, you know, I think that it was really foul for the news, like you said, the line of words
Yeah, the
that they
wordplay.
used.
Hmm.
Yeah, the words that they used. I think it was foul of them to speak like that, and I thought it was wrong of her because they're victims of the stuff, whether they believe or not that she didn't use them in some form. I've seen it, and she has. She has. She has. I even saw Trayvon Martin's mother. Uh, where she talked about Trayvon Martin's mother. All I can
Mm.
say right now to Martin's mother, if she's watching, run the other way fast, cause whatever you got going on, I know it's something good. All of us remember the tragedy that happened to your son and all of that, but the lady steal your light.
Yeah.
She'll steal your light. That's what she'll do.
She stole a little of Michelle light too, if y'all pay
Yeah,
attention.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. A lot of it.
Go read those articles and pay attention. Watch. Just look at them. Yeah.
Finding yourself in certain positions and different places under people until you can get what you want And then once you got what you want, you turn your back on them. So I just thought it was foul to use those ladies like that and try to allude to that she found those girls. I thought that
Yeah,
was wrong.
they should have had Charles Ramsey up there talking about it.
Yeah,
He's the one.
yeah. Okay, then we go on to January 29th, 2025. WKYC News 3. Laura Cowing told a news reporter that Musa built a hanging mechanism for her and hung her upside down from her feet all day in a basement. Hey,
In a basement. That's wild.
yeah, in a
Mm.
basement.
And we know where she got that story from. That was like you said when y'all was in where y'all live at that time, Bakersfield,
We lived in
and
Bakersfield.
y'all had a basement. Dad would punish y'all by putting y'all in the basement. And we know Marlon, he hung Marlon up, Marlon and Sharon up, but it wasn't no hanging mechanism. He just was tying them up and doing some crazy stuff. It wasn't like he constructed some type of hanging device, you know.
Yeah.
Because the girl in the garage, they said that she was in the garage, but how they play is like she went down some stairs into a basement when he was pushing her down some stairs, but it was a garage. I'm like, okay, the basement turned into a garage.
What she did, she played everybody because, first of all, there was no basement in Awanga at all. And we visited the home about almost 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And we did a show on that. There was no basement in the home. And I ain't even had to go visit the house. Bottom line, there was no basement in the house. And the people actually believed there. They said once they moved into that house, they
Hmm.
knew some of the stuff that she was saying was a lie. A lot of stuff she said was a lie because they said they couldn't find a basement. And they said they searched high and low, but they couldn't find a basement. So why in the movie did they have a basement? And I'm saying it goes back again to like you was just speaking about using all the likeliness of things that we went through as children because there was just no basement.
It was no.
We never had a basement in any home that she lived in with us. Never. Not one. We never had a basement. And then said that he built a hanging mechanism and hung her upside down for her feet. Look, she was a big woman, okay?
Yeah. They said she was 180 something.
Our father didn't even weigh that, okay? There was no way that he could hang her from her feet without that hanging mechanism breaking. She would have fell on her head and bust her head open. There's no way. There's no way. And I'm saying you can't make this stuff up. This is an article that's online uh, that was done January 29th, 2025, WKYC News 3, where Laura states that he built a hanging mechanism to hang her upside down in the basement from her feet. And when he built it, I ain't never seen our father build anything in my life. That one right there is a doozy too.
It is.
Then we got January 21st, 2022, WKYC News 5. Laura Cowing told a news reporter that Musa would lock her in a basement to punish her. Well, we
Here
know
we
where
go
that came
again.
from.
Here we go again. You
We
know.
know, look, we know where that came from because
Exactly.
we got story time with Musa coming up soon, so
Yeah. Yeah, we
we got
got that video coming soon
that's
too,
gonna be
y'all.
comical. That one
Yeah, it's,
kind of
it's gonna be very
so
comical.
that's
Yeah.
gonna kind of loosen everybody up,
Yeah.
But we know where that came from,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, um, like I said, it was no basement. So, Lifetime, you need to kind of do a lot of research, and look deeper into that. So now we're at February 5th, 2025. Laura Cowing told Ed and Melissa on YouTube a podcast that Musa took his army boots and knocked off his oldest son pinky finger.
Mm.
Now, you guys can go to murder unsubscribed, right? Or
Uh,
unscripted.
Unscripted, yeah.
Unscripted. And they have this podcaster. His name is Ed, and then he has a co-host named Melissa, and they did two shows.
They sure did.
Um,
One they just talked themselves about the whole
mhm.
case and situation. Part two, they had Laura up there
But
going
most
through
of
it.
the stuff, that first show that they did, most of the
Hmm.
stuff that they was talking about, it was lies
Yeah, it was.
that
Yeah.
they told, because I mean they fabricated and made up stuff sitting there, both of them.
Hmm.
What was mostly him, you know. But the part 39 is where she talks about Musa came in the room and took his foot and kicked his son, his oldest son, and knocked off his pinky finger.
She talking about me, y'all, but it's not. It's no pinky finger. So
Yeah, it's a lie,
yeah, it's
pretty
a
much.
lie.
It's a lie. So if you guys get a chance out there, we're just giving you references. Watch some of that stuff, and form your own opinions about this stuff. And like I said, you can't make it up because this stuff is out there on the internet.
And she put it out there with the help of her friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So then we go to Facebook Live, January 20th, 2025. Laura told viewers Musa kidnapped her in 1989. That's another
Man,
lie right there. That's another one right there.
she racking them up. That's all I
Yeah.
can say. I'm like, yo, man, 89? Come on.
89. 89. You know that's crazy. That is
He's not in
crazy.
jail on kidnapping charges.
Mm,
That's the thing. He's not locked up doing life a sentence off of her or her children. Kidnapped her in 89?
yep. Wow. That's deep. That one right there is deep. 89. So then
And
we
on
go
another
to,
podcast, they said that mom helped her, helped kidnap her.
yep. Yep.
Watch our videos. We got that stuff out there. I'm just let y'all know. Go to our shorts. Watch all. You gonna everything we say. Y'all gonna run across. And it's gonna be a little more detailed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to October 15th, 2025. Tri City Eastern College. Laura Cowing told Tracy Potts that she discovered that she suffered the exact same abuse of our mother. You did?
That's
You
a
was
lie.
married to Musa for 25 years and you had 13 kids and you all of our mother? She need to cut that crap out.
And she stole stories what happened to our mom and put it on herself and went out there in the media and said Musa did this to me.
Like I said, crazy. But see, that goes back to Michelle Knight and those other three girls.
Hmm.
She's a wannabe. I want to be like you. I want to
Yeah.
be like you. Who would want to have that type of situation in their life or have to even go through something, endure something like that?
Here's the thing. We never wanted to talk about this. Even
Yeah.
when everyone got out of the home, even with me growing up, I never told friends and people this stuff. Not unless you were real close to me, you would find out certain things, but I never said fully everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't want to go to the media. When y'all got our situation and dad ultimately went to jail and everything, and then the trial, even after that, nobody wanted to talk about this or discuss it. Even amongst each other, we would say certain things, but even that got to the point it was ridiculous.
We
We're like,
barely
look,
talked about it even amongst
yeah,
each other.
exactly.
Barely.
Yeah. So she took our
Barely.
story and ran it through the media. Here we are now, years later, like, look, let's defend this because we didn't want to talk about it. We wanted to say, okay, it happened. We felt embarrassed about it. I don't want to discuss this. you know. But we realized it may help someone, so we're like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's get it together.
Yeah,
Let's go out there,
yeah,
and this can help somebody. You know.
yeah. You're right. Like I said, that one right there is crazy. And we do have the 47-minute video.
Oh yeah,
But you can come up here to the podcast and watch some of the things that Laura was sitting there actually saying, and people was recording it and posting it on
yeah.
different sites. And then I saw somewhere where Tracy Potts saw the video and she was telling somebody to take the video down or send it to
And
her.
send it to her. Yeah,
What they was doing, they was trying to undercover. That's what they do. They undercover use all of us, and they tell other people, well, don't you can't use supposedly your cell phones, but there's always somebody there, recording,
yeah,
you know, and it's just nobody but God that showed us, hey, she's still doing it.
yeah. And I believe she's still quietly doing stuff through other
Yeah.
people
Oh yeah.
on their site somewhere, and it's gonna pop up, and
We
she's
all
still
live
making
rent.
money. Yeah,
Yeah. We all live rent free in her head.
yeah. You funny with that.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. November 6, 2008. Oh boy, this is a long one.
Yes.
November 6, 2008, Los Angeles Times article. Laura used a recording that she recorded of our sister, S, female, and we all know who that is,
Mm-hmm.
and told the news reporter David Kelly, who wrote the article, that it was her son Musa was beating in that recording.
Mm.
Fast forward to this present day, Laura has our sister video recording of her being brutally beaten on her foundation page. And our family has told her countless times to remove it, and she still has it up on her page, profiting off of us. Now she tells everybody who it was. But
Yeah.
before, because I got the full
Yeah.
article, which we're going to do, you said the
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
and it's about 8 pages,
Yeah.
eight, 8 pages, where she states that that was her son.
Son.
And we was like, because I'm gonna tell you what about that video. When it happened, we didn't even know that she was recording. We didn't know she was. We thought she had just wrote the 26-page letter.
Yeah. We didn't
That was
know
it.
nothing about the
We
recordings
knew
until later.
nothing about any recordings until I think it was Karen Gorham that called us in, and she said to some of us, I think it was us, Keisha, me, Tiffany, Sharon, and Marlon. She called in. She was like, "Who is this on this video?" And so we all was like, "That's all of us in the background crying, but that's Sharon that's screaming, that he's really screaming that." But she said, "I can hear a lot of the kids." I said, "That's all of us. They got in trouble." She said, "Is that Laura's son?" And we was like, "No." She said, "I didn't think so because it didn't sound like him." And you know how we know?
Wow.
There's
That's
there's
crazy.
something there's something in it that I'm gonna share
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now. How we know that it wasn't Laura's son, because our parents bringing us up, because we're from Norfolk, Virginia, and they raised us to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, and no, sir. And in that
Yep.
video, Sharon is saying yes, sir.
Yep.
So that's how we know that it wasn't her son. Because her son, he didn't talk like that. He was just reckless at 2. He was like, shut up, hit, spit, kick, punch, all that stuff.
Well, see, that's how Laura raised him.
That's just how he was
Yeah.
coming into our home. So that's how we knew, because Miss Gorham was saying, yeah, we didn't think so. And that's why they said, well, she was. Look, I know she wasn't a credible witness. I
Yeah,
knew that. Why you think you gotta tell me sitting there in the
yeah.
room that she wasn't a credible witness?
We know
We knew
this.
that. We knew that. Y'all just saying this now? After all this time, we all knew that she wasn't no credible witness. So that's the crazy part.
You can keep talking. Give me a second, sis. I gotta
Okay.
let
So
me.
February 24th, 2025 news article and WKYC news clipping. Laura Cowing told an employee by the name of Brandon Simmons that Musa and his wife is her parents and that we all are her sisters and brothers, that she is their oldest daughter. Now, ain't that something? She's their oldest daughter. We know who their oldest daughter is, and we know who was born first. So when she said that, I asked Brandon Simmons, I said, "You guys didn't ask her any questions?" He said, "We didn't ask because we didn't think that somebody would come to us and lie. And the media is a lie too. Because the thing is that how do you go and somebody tell you, first of all, her and our mom and dad, all three of them the same age. All three of them the same age. So to sit up there and say that those two individuals are your parents and you was their oldest daughter, they're playing games like she tricked them and they didn't know. And I know why they doing it. But guess what? It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Because you know why? They've been doing this stuff. Look, this
It's
one time you
crazy.
call, this one time you call and they get busted. And the excuse is that we didn't know. Yeah,
We
you
didn't
did
know.
know, and we know why you doing it, because you've been doing it for 20 years. These
Yeah.
specific news station, WKYC 3, 5, uh, 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 and 19, been doing it, and WEW, and a few and a grip of other ones been doing it for some years. They've been doing it, and they've been called out several. It ain't like we haven't said
Yeah,
anything because I know,
we've been
uh,
mentioning this for. I know, especially you. You've been calling for years.
yeah, because a lot of viewers said, "Why don't you guys speak out?" We have. They don't
Yeah.
care. They don't care. They don't care when you call them, when you make a comment, when you write them a letter. They don't say anything. They don't say anything. And like I said, for Brandon Simmons, he know who he is if he's watching over at WKYC News Station 3, to sit up there and lie and say that you thought that, oh, she was telling the truth. You knew she won't tell the truth because all of y'all are friends with her at those stations. She's all on all of you guys' Facebook pages,
Yeah. They friends with her.
out eating, all types of stuff. So stop telling stories. She got a really good rapport with you guys out there. Just like with Cleveland City Hall, she got a good rapport with people out there that we've called and reported things that she's done.
And won't nobody contact us back. Oh, we're gonna call you. They never do.
No, but I'm saying that's something else to tell
It
somebody
is.
you somebody's daughter.
You just they base all the same age. They in the right. They right there.
They
You know what I'm saying? Right
all,
there. Come
you
on.
know, it ain't like our parents. It's not like our father is not even 3 years older than her.
Exactly.
Our mother is not even 2 years older than her. So I'm saying to even say that they her parents, I'm like, you got it wrong. All three of y'all like the three blind mice. Here's the next one. July 22nd, 2010. Lori Cowing told a news reporter in the LA Times that Musa drove her to the post office when in fact it was Hannah who drove her and Musa there. View the full video on this page. You will see the actual person who drove them there.
Exactly. The movie is a lie. Somebody just ran across acquaintance, someone just out of the thin air. It's false. Musa wasn't even in the post office, breathing down her neck as they try to show, and all that he was outside talking to Hannah. He never told her to hurry up. And I think when he did go, the space is not even big, y'all. Like Crystal said, watch the video. I have it's on this channel. Yeah. Yeah.
So, getting back to that, uh, like I said, it's a lot and we got more to come. But look at the page, when you get a chance and you ain't busy, view the page and you'll see the person that took her out there. And also he testified to this as well, that he took her out there. So
Mm.
when you start putting two and two together, which is what we did, like I said, we had a long year and it seemed like we was just scrambling every week on top of having to work a
Yeah.
full-time job. It was like
We kept changing the
just
topics that we
just
was gonna do.
yeah.
The
It's like we was
thumbnails
just
I was going to
cramming.
create, I changed
Yeah.
those around because of the information we receive after doing a live or during the middle of the week. Oh man, we had to hurry up, scramble, like you said. Let's change it around. Let's talk about this. Got to hurry up and read some of the articles, and I know you do a lot of the notes and jotting down. Then conversation with me saying, "Okay, let's put this in, take that out." Just the back and forth and trying to communicate. It was great. And have to work,
Mhm.
and then your regular life and everything, and with stuff switching
Yeah.
around because of the articles we found.
Like I said, you guys, it's been so much. It's been so much. So much. I mean, this research right here that we've done, and we've done it, you know, uh it's a
Yeah.
documentary in the works,
Yeah,
put it that
it
way.
is.
It
It
really is.
is.
It really is. And
It
we're not
definitely
talking
is.
about no hour, 2 hour documentary. We talking about a 8 hour,
You talking about like a whole season.
12 hour, yeah, documentary. Cause this stuff is just like it's serious. It's
Yeah.
serious. That's the thing is that I want to pinpoint, which is what we're working on doing, and putting all this stuff together. I want to pinpoint every article which we have, and we're getting more. Pinpoint everything so that an audience of people can sit, watch, and they can actually see and get an
Hmm.
understanding of what actually happened.
And like when we stated before in other videos that this has been going on 20 some years, we just proved it right there with the articles. We just proved it. You know what I'm saying? 20 something years. We talking
Yep.
about going back to '08.
2008.
Yeah.
Yep. Up until now,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey,
Like I said, it's
it
something
is.
else.
Yeah, it makes you like, man, what's going on?
Yep.
You do this to a family. And like I said, they never expected anybody to say anything. Like she was just gonna cruise off into the sunset, making money off of us. Give the story over to her children, like she stated on the Tamara Hall show. She want her kids to take over. I'm like, take over what?
Like I
Mm.
said, I'm gonna keep it like this before we close.
Yeah.
Is that in our house, the stuff that she claimed that happened to her didn't. She had a very favorable position in that house, and she always did up until she decided to do. what she wanted to do. And during that time when we was on the Dr. Phil show, all she was doing was playing games with all of us.
Mm.
That's what she was doing. Playing games, head games with all of us. That's what she was doing. She knew
Yeah.
exactly. She knew every last one of us. She knew exactly what we was going to say. When she got off that show and she said that that was the good show and this was the bad show, that was nasty. Because you know what that's showing society? That after all the stuff that all of us went through, the things that we went through, that we bad people and she a good person. You talking about 13 people and all of us is bad, but you a good person.
And she was an adult in the home, and I'm still trying to figure
Oh,
out.
you yeah,
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, she recorded all this abuse, 18 tapes. I heard, right? If not more. Okay, why were you recording those? Why it's in these tapes, y'all? I mean, it's right up close. It's not like she was in the garage like she claimed through in that movie. You had to be
yeah.
to hear it. You had been right there. Those tapes are clear. And if she gave all that over to the DA, how did she get that other tape back?
I don't know. Only she know that, and the sneaky links that gave it to her know.
Hmm. Yeah,
Only
yo,
she know that.
yeah. This has been wow. Like I said, we have more to come.
Hmm.
We're gonna Musa. We should be doing that video. I don't know. We'll probably give it what another week, maybe or whatever. Maybe
Yeah,
do it next week
yeah.
because we still got stuff we're trying to do this week.
Hmm.
I just put it out there, let everybody know it's coming. Story time with Musa, and it's gonna be funny. You know, trying to get. I mean, serious, but it's gonna loosen you up a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what we got coming up Friday?
Um, we may do a part. You want to do a part
Yeah,
four
the last part for
for the
Marsden report.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
All
hopefully
right,
everybody tune in,
yeah,
to that because it'll be a wrap on
yeah,
that. And
yeah,
then if you haven't seen the other three parts, you can go back and watch those.
yeah. Because we're just trying to just make some things clear, you know, and get it out there because of what's been going on for 20 something years with Laura Lyon. So we got there already. We pretty much been. We just gonna go in depth a little more this year with hopefully with the transcripts and with the
Hmm.
there's some other information I want to talk about because we're gonna get that too.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be the shocker, but yeah. So once again, everyone, tune into this channel, like, share, and subscribe. Listen to all the live, all the regular videos, the shorts, listen to everything, and just keep coming back. Subscribe to this channel. Everyone have a great week.
Good night.